Namaste, everyone. I'm Jenny. Thanks for tuning in. Now, on this week's Cosmic Vibes video, I'm going to be talking about Mercury retrograde is coming to an end. Thank the Lord. How many of you are happy for that? I'm putting my hands up. It was a rough one. We're going to talk about how is your month in August. I'm going to give you the master number day that you can work with, that can utilize huge opportunities for you. And also, for those of you who are subscribed to my channel, hit that little subscribe button down there. You know that I am going live every month on YouTube offering free clairvoyant psychic readings. Now, the next time I'm going live is Saturday, August the 31st at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern or 11 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to give you the message that I see specifically for you from Spirit. So the only way you're going to get a free reading from Jenny is to subscribe to my channel and tune in. It's free. Like, seriously, you guys. Unless you want to book a private reading with me, soulworkwithjenny.com. So follow me. I'm all over social media. It's better to follow me on Instagram at Jeni Ji Cousins. I'll follow you back. There's a lot of content then there, and I do socialize a lot more. So reach out to me there. Follow me. I'll follow you back. Okay, so let's get to this. Now, this is a week. Like, if you guys reflect back over to August, your entire month, like, look back seriously to the 1st of August. Where are you today? Seriously, like, what happened? Who came back into your life? Did you forgive them? Did you say, oh, hell no, I'm just not getting involved with that person? How many of you saw a lot of truth being exposed? And as you see truth being exposed, obviously in the world, there's a lot of bullshit, as I call it, without going into a lot of details, right? There's a lot of lies. There's a lot of deception out there, a lot of fear propaganda that the government's trying to throw at you. I'm just saying, right? How many of you are fed up with it? How many of you are like, you know what? I'm just, wow, seriously, all of them. So it's not only just with these events cosmically that, you know, have been going on for quite some time. You are taking a look at more so what's going on inside your soul. Like, really take a look back, as I mentioned, certain people that you are connected with or have been connected with, where you're like, you know, I just don't vibe with that energy or person anymore. I'm letting them go. I'm releasing them. How many of you have started new friendships, new relationships, and have ended relationships? And I mean, like, relationships can be, of course, your partner. It can be business. It can be like, if you're like, you know what, I can't be around my job anymore. I'm really pulled into making changes and start a new career. I'm going to be studying this. I'm going to be learning about that. And some of you are just like, you know what? I'm just quitting. How many of you have had to defend yourself? You know, let's say you quit your job, you know, and you talk to somebody or your family or whoever, and like, oh my God, why have you done that? So they put the fear of God into you. You know your limitations. Like, I myself, I don't put up with stuff. I don't put up with crap. I don't have people dictating you know, how I should live my life, because if they did, they would soon be deleted, right? You know, I mean, you can get advice, of course, you know what I mean? But you could have 100 different people say, you know what, we're giving you this advice or whatever. You still have to walk on your path that resonates with you. Like, are you allowing others to dictate your life? How many of you are allowing that or have allowed that? That's why I'm saying a lot of truth is being exposed. A lot of what you have been reviewing, especially the month in August, it's like, I need to take that step back because I just saw more ugliness coming out of this person or my job or this situation, like whatever it is, whatever it is. And this is where you have awoken even more and more and more. With all of these world changes, there's been more changes now than there has been in over 10,000 years on our planet, right? All of these so-called leaders, which are only so-called as far as I'm concerned, because if they were true leaders, would our world be the way it is right now? Would it? With the destruction that's going on, with how they're trying to control you and brainwashing you into believing this and this and this and that. It's all a money game and power. However, as I mentioned, I'm not going to go on about that, right? So you go on your own soul recognition. And whenever you take that time out for you, in that silence, this is when you're going to feel your power in stillness. I mean, I took some time out. Even the other day, I was getting really burnt out, and I'm like, oh, this was, so I went to the wolf dog sanctuary, I wanted to go there for quite some time. And I'm like, it was last minute. I was just so burnt out. I'm like, I am so tired. So I just shut everything off and away I went. And I got lost, right? And I kind of pulled over the side, and this really, really nice farmer, because it's like in the country, comes up to me and he goes like, are you all right? And I looked at him like, wow, I didn't see him coming. And I'm like, wow, I'm like, this is where I'm going, right? And this is the address. And he goes, no, they should adjust that address, right? Because this is here and you need to go that way. And I'm like, oh, so he says, try the GPS again. And I tried the GPS again. And I'm like, yeah, but that address is that. And he goes, yes, that's it. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a whirl and see what happens. I wasn't even worried. That was actually on the super moon. The day of the super moon, I went because I wanted to connect with the wolves, and I'm an animal communicator and hear what messages they have. And, I put photos up and videos on my photography account, Jeni Ji Photography on Instagram. You can look me up there, and also on Facebook, Jeni Ji Photography. And you'll see the video, and I'm going to be putting some more photos and such up as well for you. But I did find it. I did find it, and it was truly amazing, truly amazing. Like I just love taking sacred space with the animals and so on and communicating with them. And of all days, the super full moon, like, oh my goodness sakes, right? Everything was just really nice. The energy was really calm and everything. And, super full moons can have, like quite the effect on us, of course, right? Like I'm a Leo and such. And Leo was one of the affected signs, and also Aquarius and so on, right? But I was very calm. It was a healing moon because whenever you're on the right path, you will feel more of that calmness coming through you. If you're like on the off track, when your soul's like, hey, really pay attention to this, you're going to feel it because there's going to be more challenges and such like that, right? Like Mercury retrograde, thank the Lord, right? That's ending on the 28th and 29th of August this week. Like, oh my gosh. However, there's still that post shadow for the next 2 weeks after. But you'll find that things will start feeling better. Things will start lightening up a lot more. Thank gosh, right? It's like the energy was really heavy because we had the Lionsgate portal, Mercury retrograde, the super full moon, like in a lot of different energies. So it very well could have been more of an intense month. I had my moments as well. We all do. And it's like, okay, what did I utilize from that? It was a very health conscious month as well. So some of you might have had like all of a sudden, boom, like emergency health procedures or things like that. And that's perfectly good because Mercury retrograde is a really good time to deal with like health issues and concerns. So it can work with you as a real blessing in disguise. and Aquarius, of course, got affected. My Aquarian friend, I'm not going to name her name, she had to have surgery at the last minute. And, I felt something was really, really off and everything, but I knew she'd be okay. You know what I mean? And sure enough, it happened. So my heart and thoughts are with you, of course, and you know who you are. I don't like to name certain names, right? Because it's private. And if that person wants to share, they can, of course, right? But I love you and my thoughts are with you, and you're going to be perfectly fine, right? So lots of things can happen during that transit. So especially this week, as I'm saying, as Mercury retrograde starts ending, things are going to calm down. However, right, just be a little bit more mindful and an awareness, because for the next 2 weeks, mid-September, so right, we still have that energy and things can be a little wonky, like technical issues, electronical issues is the worst for me because I work online and I'm always online, right? So it can be more frustrating and everything like that, of course, too, right? So it's like when you work with the energy, it works with you. And it's really that time to rest more. How many of you guys are like, you know what? I surrendered. I was so exhausted. And that's what happened to me on the full moon. I'm like, last minute, it was all last minute. I'm like, I'm feeling this pull now to go there. Boom, away I went, just like that. Right. And I'm like, okay, super full moon. I don't know about that, but I'm like, super full moon being around wolves. Beautiful. It was amazing, right? So now you're also going to find that you're going to be going through that dark night of the soul. You have been, for those of you who are surrendering and taking that time out, you have been listening to more of your soul speak in silence. It's like, even when I lived in Ireland, it's very mystical, the woods with the fairies and the forests and such like that. I've got a lot of really interesting stories and memories from that. You know what I mean? And it's like walking in the darkness in that forest with the lamp, the light of your soul, right? You're going to hear those messages when you get more in touch with nature, right? And I'm even making more plans for myself to do a lot of different things that were on my to-do list that I'm like, you know what? And it's always usually at the last minute, very spontaneous. So it's really important to write down certain things and allow your soul to tell you when the right time is for you to make these changes. You're going to find that your heart chakra has opened up more compassion, and for those of you who are, empathic, you're more sensitive to the energies and everything like that. And you're even going to find this week that your heart is opening up more. You will feel pulled even more so to move away, to sell your home. Just like I'm selling my business, I'm done. I'm moving out of the country. I'm moving out of the city. I'm moving state, provinces, countries, whatever it is. I'm just done. You're going to feel that. How many of you have made those decisions? How many of you are coming to terms with seeing more truth exposed? Because with a lot of different ugliness, as I call it, in the world, we're fed up. We're done with the game. We are done with the game. That's why it's like, are you really allowing people to dictate your life? I live my life the way I choose. That's myself. I don't allow anyone to tell me how to live my life. Ever, ever. This is me, take it or leave it. Bottom line, you don't like who I am. I know who I am in my heart. I know where my intentions are. I stand in my truth, authenticity, and integrity within. That's myself. So you're going to find that there's energies and people around you have let go of. So now the 25th and the 26th, you're going to find that, I just really want to declutter my place and my space, my environment, if it's in your office workspace, if it's in your car, your vehicle, if it's in your home, different spaces, you're going to be like, there's just way too many toys, let's say, that my child has. I'm going to get a big toy box, or I'm going to put it in a different area. Maybe I'm just going to like clear up all of this paperwork. Maybe I'm just going to, go in my junk closet. You're going to find that there's different clothes as well. You're going to be like, I don't wear that anymore. I'm not drawn to that. Right. I always give stuff away to the homeless shelter, and drop off things and everything like that. I always do, and there's some of it still has brand new price tags on it. I don't go by, you owe me money. No, I'm like, here, I would rather give it to somebody who truly, truly needs it. That's not able to financially afford it or buy. I give stuff away all the time. And people are like, oh my God, you're seriously giving me that? And I'm like, yeah. How much? No, never mind. It's for you. It's a gift. I don't expect anything back in return. Right. So you're going to even find on the 27th, 28th, that's when you might be feeling more sensitive, more empathic, more compassionate. You're going to, like look at certain people in your life situations and be like, you know what, my heart really goes out to them. Don't wish anybody karma. Don't wish anybody failure. Don't ever do that. Why would you wish anything on somebody like that? When we have different cycles and such, when we're more successful and such like that, like I work 14, 16 hours a day and such like that. And, I've had somebody say, wow, how did you get to where you are? Because I work hard every day. Every day I work hard to make things happen. I don't have things just given to me. No. So when you hear other people talking badly about other people, they're going to talk the same way about you. So I'm just saying, a lot of truth has come out. You should be happy for people when they're doing well. You should be happy for people when they have good results. Look at the world. Do you want that? Do you want to stay in that energy of low vibrational frequency? Or do you want to support people with more love and compassion towards humanity with kindness? The choice is yours. The choice is completely yours to make, right? So the 29th and 30th, you're going to be reflecting a lot more. You're going to be reviewing on everything. You're going to say, you know what more do I really, really need to do? What changes do I need to make? Like, where did this year go? We're already like September here. This is a very fast-paced year with this universal 8-year. Very fast-paced year. On the 31st of August, it's another master number day. That's a very big day. That's a high frequency day. You might even take that day to have that dark night of the soul, that soul reflection that, you know what? I got to take the world. I got to tune it out. I just have to tune it out. How many of you have woke up in the morning feeling good and then all of a sudden you turn on the news? And what is the news? It feeds off negativity. The newscasters get told what to say by the government. I personally know someone who left a major global news station because she got tired of being dictated of what to say by the government. So I'm just saying, really reflect back onto August and look at where you are. Like, have you moved forward? Jeni, I just haven't done this, and this. Have you set goals? Have you set short goals? Have you set these long-term goals? You're even going to hear about babies being born. You're going to hear about people being pregnant because this is a solar year, 2024 and 2025. This is the time to get pregnant. This is the time to get pregnant. There's a lot of people that can't have babies anymore because of something. I'm not going to go on about why. However, 2024 and 2025 are the years to get pregnant. So if you want to get pregnant, expect the unexpected and be open, be very open. So you're going to find that you're going to want to really, really embrace and go back to stillness by keeping things simple. Like, I like to keep things simple. I don't like complex matters. I face things because I'm like, you know what? I don't want this lingering on. Let's deal with this right now. Get it done and out of the way so I can move on, regardless what it is. Sometimes if it's something more major, yeah, it can take a little bit of time, right? If you run from things, it's going to follow you, and it's going to get harder during like full moons, new moons, certain transit times, and it can be really, really intense. You have been healing a lot this year. We had Chiron energy, which goes until the end of December. So there's a lot of situations from the past and memories, traumatic events, traumas, sadness. You're still healing, and your soul will purposely bring these things up in order for things to heal. Let go, embrace it, embrace it. As you're healing, you're taking your power back, especially whenever somebody has betrayed you and hurt you. If somebody tries to attack me or says something to me, I don't let it bother me. I really don't, because that's their perception. That's where their energy is. I know my truth. I know who I am. So it doesn't bother me. That's something they have to deal with, not me. We can all get hurt by certain comments and such like that. Like, I just brush it off. I'm very strong, mind you. I hold a lot of strength. I used to be a bill collector once upon a time ago, many, many, many moons ago. So you build a lot more strength through that. I've been called every name in the book, believe me. Right? Doesn't faze me. It has nothing to do with me at all, right? Nothing to do with me at all. So you are the leader of your own life when you allow that to happen. So you might even find on the 1st of September, getting month end done, paying bills, rent, mortgages, and all that kinds of stuff. You might even find that, I'm going to make plans now for barbecues. It's Labor Day long weekend. I'm actually last minute. Some of you might get spontaneous as well that day and say, oh, well, I'm going to have a barbecue that weekend, or let me go to the lake, or let's get away for the last weekend before the kids get back to school. Or some of the kids have gone to school already. There's year-round schools, some schools start in August sometime. So you might be going like school shopping for supplies and such like that. I'm literally seeing that baby. Like coming. I literally am in the arms, that blue blanket wrapped around, and I know who that is actually. But I'm doing see that with a lot of peace and joy. So now the cosmic energies affect our body parts as well, and your animals. Your animals are very sensitive. So you might even find between the 24th to the 25th, your neck, vocal cords, and thyroid are off, more sensitive. 26th, 27th, your shoulder, arms, hands can be a little bit more sensitive. Like even right now, both of my wrists, I'm wearing my copper on my wrists right now because I've been doing working on a lot of my projects and such like that. So I'm on the computer a lot. So you know what I mean? I actually have braces for my arms whenever I work too much. And I'm like, oh, it hurts. So whenever it gets hard and such like that, I'm like, okay, I just need a break. I just need some space right now from working and such. So I'll just take a little bit more time out during the day or whatever like that. Or I'll go last minute spontaneous and do something. I have my eyes on a few things for the rest of this year and next year. And I'm like, okay, let me look into all of these things and so on and so on. And I stay more in the moment of the now. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of see where things take me. I'm going to keep on working on this. And if I feel that kind of call at the last minute to do something, I will, just like I did when I went to see the wolves. So when you kind of do that, things will flow much better. We can plan things, right? Plan vacations and all of these things, which is really, really good, right? Of course, we have to pre-plan, especially if it's something more major and long distance accommodations, travel arrangements, and all of those things. So just kind of be a little bit more mindful and such. As I mentioned, this year being like a water year, there's more accidents in the water. I've talked about that since I did my predictions last year for this year as well. So I'm not going to go on about that. But so now let's talk about more collective energy as well. What are the cards saying? And yes, I will show you what decks I'm using. I started doing that last video. I'm having people send me messages, which decks are you using? I'm like, I don't know. I have so many decks. And what video was it? You got to make comments on my YouTube video. Don't send me a message and say, oh yeah, I saw in one of your videos that well, I have no idea. Once I finish doing something, I detach from it and move on. Right. So I am bringing my decks here to show you exactly what decks I'm using. So for those of you who have asked me. So let's just kind of pull a card. I'm getting drawn to this deck. Make sure you clear your cards before you use them. I don't use cards whenever I do a reading because I'm a clairvoyant psychic medium. So I only use cards here on YouTube to show you collectively. So the card deck I'm using is Saints and Angels by Doreen Virtue. There you go. There's that deck I'm going to be using right now. So let's ask the angels, what is the message from the 25th of August to September the 1st? You're going to find you're going to be getting back on track with things as well. So 25th to the 1st of September, especially since Mercury retrograde. Oh, thank you. So, oh, how interesting. Now, what did I talk about? Healing. We have that Chiron energy, which brings up memories from the past, like the not so good memories, especially, even I'm still healing, from situations myself. Of course, I'm a human being. We all have situations to heal from, but it's really important that you do reflect over it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't run from it. Face it. Face what is painful within. You don't need to confront the other person or talk to the other person who hurt you. No, unless, it's somebody that, like your spouse, let's say, or like somebody in your family or a friend that you connect with a lot, for instance, right? You can have a talk with them about how you feel and, don't have a heated argument with someone because then you could say something that you regret later. If I'm upset with somebody, let's say, I'll wait until I'm calm and then have a conversation with that person. Depending on what happened, for that so-called family member who attacked me, in August, which I talked about last video, I had detached from that energy. I've always been the black sheep of my family. I've never been accepted. I do talk to my brother Robert, of course, right? But the rest of us never accepted me ever. And I won't even go on about it. It's very toxic. But you have to heal through that, right? Like I healed and worked through that quite some time ago, many years ago. So there's a way to do that. There's a way to do that. So you can always book a reading with me. I can go over all of that with you. Okay, so let's pull another card here. I'm going to be using this deck. Divine Animals Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. There's the box there. There you go. Oops. There we go. There's that deck there. So let's talk to the animal kingdom. What is their message for us from the 25th of August to the 1st of September? What's the message? What is the message? What is the message from our animal kingdom? It's a message from our animal kingdom. How many fallen out? It's a message from the animal kingdom for the 25th of August, September the 1st. I'm seeing a giraffe. I don't know why. Talking about a giraffe. No, but giraffe didn't fall up. Now, this is a very cool card. Butterfly. Now, butterflies represent transformation. Think of a cocoon that starts to rebirth and fly its wings into a butterfly. How many of you have been seeing more butterflies around? I mean, like, yeah, during certain season, we see more butterflies naturally. However, if there's a certain butterfly that you find that's around you more or making its way more, there's a message for you. Like I get messages all the time from the animal world. I mean, even I had a message the other day on the 19th from a magpie. I was sitting back in my chair outside and I'm like, like I'd like to know what these results are going to be in a couple of days. A magpie showed up and told me, right? Without going into details, right? However, be open to the messages from the animal kingdom, from the animal world. There's always messages when you're open to receive. Butterfly is spread your wings. Butterfly is you're transforming. August is a huge transformational month. Lionsgate portal, super moon, like even Mercury retrograde can really be a really spiritual experience if you see the good in it rather than the bad, right? Certain people come back, maybe they say, you know what, I'm really sorry for what I did to you or how I treated you. Lots of things can happen, of course, right? It just depends on how you respond to it and so on, of course, right? So, I'm feeling this deck here. Now, this deck here is The Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reed. Oops, there we go. Enchanted Map. I like the cover of it because it has that ancient energy field. So let's talk the cards. 28th or the 25th of August to the 1st of September. These negative impulses that come within yourself from, other people, or if you just see the news, it can really affect you, like really, really, really affect you. It affects the mind, puts you into chaos all of a sudden. Like, even where I'm living here, I was making a decision to do something, and I'm like, you know what, that feels pretty good. And I thought, oh, let me just throw my garbage out. I went outside. As I was throwing my garbage in the garbage can, I ran into one of the tenants in the building, and all of this negativity and fear just whoosh. And I'm like, wow. And I'm like, oh my God. It really affected me, actually. It did. And I'm like, wow, well, those plans I just made, I better put that on hold now because of this and this and that. And then I came in and I'm like, it did affect me, to be honest. And then I'm like, just let this go. Let me take time out for me and here. And I'm like, wow, thank you for the message and that. However, I'm still walking forward. I won't have anybody dictate my life ever. I don't care who it is. What's the message from Spirit? What's the message from Spirit? The 25th of August. Too many cards. What's the message from Spirit, please? Rock bottom. Now, rock bottom card fell out here. People might think that, oh my God, I'm at the rock bottom. Like, how many of you, sometimes we have to hit rock bottom in our life by seeing the truth being exposed in other people, in other situations, or within ourselves to say, oh my God, like I literally need to make some changes right now. What changes do I need to make? Don't worry about how. Whenever there's a problem, don't run from it. Whenever you face a problem, ask yourself, how can I resolve this now? How can I make a resolution to this? What changes do I have to make to resolve this? When you go into that mindset, you will work through it and you will work out of that situation. But I don't know how to do this and that. Okay. For whatever your situation is, there's always somebody that can help you through that. Somebody who's special. If you wanted to make changes with a career, let's say, and you're like, I don't know what direction to go. Oh my gosh. Start writing down what you're passionate about. Start writing down, okay, if I could have any job, what would I like to do? Start writing it down. When you start writing things down, you are working through it, and then you'll be able to see it. So some of you might find that, you know what, I need to educate myself more if I want to get promoted, or maybe I want to create my own business. What steps do I need to do? What research do I need to take? Maybe I need to study more and take a class to learn how to do this. Or maybe I should talk to somebody who specializes in that area that I need help with. Don't run from it. It follows you. Oh, I'm just going to go on a vacation and forget all about it. Okay. You go on your vacation, you're coming right back to it. It follows you. So sometimes we have to get to rock bottom. We all have limitations with things in our life, no matter what it is. And then we get to that point of, I'm done. I've had enough. I've had enough. What do I need to do? What do I need to do to make a change? Right? That's why I even set goals, little ones, big ones. I'm working on a couple of big ones right now. One's going to be very life-changing. But that takes time. That takes time. I'm realistically looking at that one coming maybe the springtime next year. There's certain things you got to be realistic. A small time goal, can be anything. Sign up for that class. A small time goal can be joining a gym, right? Like you will know personally what resonates for you, right? And another thing, just be really mindful whenever you start creating new goals, when you start creating new goals and dreams, don't go on and tell other people, unless you trust that person and you're close to that person, what your dreams are. How many of you have said, you know what, I want to do this. I want to travel here. I want to create a new business. I want to move here. I want to, like, whatever it is. And all of a sudden, whoever it is puts that fear of God into your mindset, and immediately your dream is destroyed. It's gone. It's done. Because that person put the fear of God into your head. Dreams disappear. Fear creates roadblocks immediately. That's why what I'm working on, I don't say anything to anybody. What are you working on, Jeni? Oh, just my projects. What kind? Just stuff. I learned that the hard way, believe me, many moons ago. Your lessons are painful. If you learn from it, you don't repeat it. I keep a lot of things to myself. There's only one person that knows what I'm doing. One of my projects, or actually both of my big projects, there's only one person who knows what I'm doing. And I've been friends with her forever. So there's certain people that who you have that soul connection with, who you can trust, who you can truly talk to, and so, right? So just be really, really mindful, right? Like, don't have other people dictate how you live your life and so on and so on. I get it. We all have responsibilities and children and work and spouses and such, right? But if you have a situation where you're like, this person hurt me, or I don't agree what they say, have a heart-to-heart talk with them. Let them know how you feel and the reasoning by. When you're calm, have that talk with them. Things have to be resolved. Don't try not to go to bed angry, because you're going to wake up angry. You can have nightmares, lose sleep, and then it goes on, and there can be a lot of misunderstandings and so on and so on and so on, right? So now, how many of you have subscribed to my channel? That little red button down there. How many of you are joining me live right here on YouTube on the 31st of August at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time to have a free reading by me? How many of you are following me on Instagram, Jeni Ji Cousins? I will follow you right back. So until next time, namaste, everyone.